My routine's always changing, but usually I follow some routine that's going to focus on a particular body part or set of body parts on each day. This includes corrective exercising and all that kind of stuff. So I don't do full body splits. If someone would like to host me, I would be more than happy to come to California. But as of right now, there's no plans to come to California in the near future.
Because it's summertime and we're sweating it out. And most of us, if we're like athletes and we're training a lot, most of us are undersalted, right? We don't have enough salt in our foods, and salt's been demonized wrongly, and so that a lot of people think that they need to cut out their salt, just kind of like fats were back in the day. And so I find that putting about a half teaspoon of salt before my workouts, it tends to help me get a lot more drive out of my muscles.
My advice would be to get back on the mats as soon as possible, because if you're not going back to the gym because you're afraid of losing some skill or something, then you're living out of fear, and living out of fear is no way to live.
I don't have a drop-in fee. I don't like drop-in fees. When people come by, I just invite them to come train with us and have a good time. If you really have a great time while you're here at the gym, buy a t-shirt and you can support the gym that way. Just do whatever doesn't hurt. I would say that when you do get back to it, you probably need to do some hip strengthening exercises like extensions, probably because you're having an imbalance and that's probably what's causing the groin pull. Yes, that belt should be washed. If that belt is getting stinky and you got all kinds of smells coming out of it, you need to wash that damn thing. I don't really like junk food because of the way that it makes me feel, but every now and then I'll go get ice cream from an ice cream shop down the street from the house. And I have to get it from an ice cream shop, so this way they ration it out to me, because if I was to buy like a pint of ice cream or something, I'm gonna eat the whole damn thing. I have been recently. I've actually dropped my carbs down to around 150 a day, and usually eating them through the form of like berries and fruits and things like that. I would say if you cut out your carbs completely, try raising them up to like 100 and 150 and see how you feel. Find an intrinsic reason that makes you want to train that has nothing to do with belts. This should always be the way. If you're really worried about the belt, talk to the coaches there, but find a reason in here that makes you want to train that has nothing to do with any sort of external rewards or promotion. That's a hard thing to choose, man. I've got a lot of those. You know, this goes against what most people think, but for me personally, anytime that I've kind of just gone in at my walking weight and I got bumped up to a higher weight class, I've actually done better than when I cut a bunch of weight to get down to a lower weight class. Just my experience. The first skill that a white belt has to master, and master is a relative term, right? It's not really master, but good at, right? Is to survive, right? Because when you first start, you have no idea what you're doing, and your first goal as a white belt is to simply to survive. That's number one. Just treat people like you want to be treated. I mean, scratch your own itch, right? What kind of gym would you want to be a part of when you were new, and just make that happen. And then in regards to metal, like music, man, if people get offended by music or they don't like it, then they probably have issues and you're probably not going to gel with them anyway. No, you should start training martial arts so you'll stop being obese. You know, if you're obese, it means that you have problems eating and not exercising, and so martial arts will provide a catalyst for you to get some exercise and also for you to improve your diet. I really enjoy training, so it's never really taken that much motivation for me to just keep training, regardless of how I'm doing as far as progression or whatever. Now, as far as if I need a little bit of a oomph, I'll watch some like highlight videos or something like that and get jazzed up, and then I'll go train. So I've been asked to do another Q&A. A bunch of you guys had questions that didn't get answered, or you didn't have a chance to put the question in. So tomorrow, Friday, I'm gonna start another question and answer type thing again. America. go slow. You're gonna wanna like start pushing yourself really early because things start to feel pretty good. Take your time, don't be in a rush, go slow, ease your body into everything, and whatever you do, don't roll right off the bat. I did Taekwondo as a kid, and it's funny because I wanted to fight in the Kumite as a kid, right? Like the Bloodsport Kumite. And so when they told me that I wouldn't be able to spar for a little while, I got really bored because I really wanted to spar, and I told my instructor that if I couldn't spar, I wasn't going to be able to fight in the Kumite.
Dude, there are so many, and it's hard to get into everything in a short, like 15-second video, but there's a lot. I'm not really good at this whole balance thing, but I would say that you find someone that's super supportive of what you're doing, and then you figure out what's really important to you, just the really important stuff, and just focus on that first, and then anything else just comes secondary.
Don't become personally like attached to the outcome, right? Like that's the ego, right? You're becoming personally attached to how the outcome goes, and that sort of gives you your sense of self-worth. Take it as a mistake, learn from it. This is gonna sound weird, but I love the sound of the scraping across the mats. Like when you hear someone moving across the mats or the gi moving across the mats and you hear this whoosh, whoosh. I love that sound. It gets me like pumped up to go train, especially if I'm watching like an instructional video or something like that.
When you're undefeated in competitions as a white belt and you can squat over 500 pounds and front squat over 450 pounds, you only got to come to one more class, Joe. Just one more.